Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're doing the Shrine of Secrets review for the 28th of June 2022. I don't think there's much to say again other than I have been keeping up to date with the shrines on my Twitter if I haven't had time to do a video, but I have time today, so here we are. First of all, we'll get started. First of all, we have Balanced Landing, which is a near perk, and this one has it so it's an exhaustion perk, but it basically has it so the speed boost is triggered when you fall from a great height. It also makes it silent and reduces the stagger duration entirely, pretty much. So when you fall and you well, stagger, obviously, you don't. And then the second you hit the ground, you'll just get the speed boost. And yeah, it's quiet. So I think this one's pretty good. I think this one's quite underrated. It's not good on some maps, but I think definitely the ones like the Ironworks and some of the maps that have like the hills and stuff like that are very good for this, and it just makes it a bit more unique because it's a bit more unexpected than the usual dead hards and maybe the odd sprint burst also. Yeah, just keep in mind that it is better on some maps than others. Some maps you can't do it at all, then some maps like you can, but it's kind of awkward, you know what I mean? I think the more open ones like Macmillan or Hannonfield are much better for this, but yeah, I think it's okay actually. I don't use it a whole lot, but I think it's pretty good as well. Next up we have Bamboozle, which is a clown perk, and this one makes it so you vault faster, and also when you do vault, the entity will block that window for a certain amount of time, and you can only block it once, one window at a time, and it's only for survivors as well. I think this one, again, is pretty unexpected. Well, I don't know about that, but it's very useful because a lot of killers who are more M1-ish, so like Myers and Wraith and Clown himself, I guess, and maybe some of the chainsaw killers, can benefit from just cutting off a loop, because this can like destroy a loop basically by preventing the window. And yeah, I mean, it's quite simple really. Like it's just a nice one to have because vaulting can be a bit obnoxious sometimes. Like, you know, you have to just take that time just to get over. So the fact you can do it faster, and it actually helps because it blocks the window as well, so the survivors can't use it. It's very good. And the chainsaw killers, that's obviously because they can insta-down and they need to get really close. And their power is quite easily countered by someone managing to fast spot a window. So if they can't do that, then, you know, that's good for you basically. Next up we have Hex Ruin, which is a hag perk, and this one is very powerful at the moment, but I will say that it is going to be getting nerfed soon, so I'll explain that in a second. Basically, for now, when a generator is not being repaired by a survivor, and this hex is active, it will instantly and immediately start aggressing 200% normal speed, and yeah, that's it basically. So the hex stands up, and anytime a gen is not being worked on by anyone, yeah, it regresses like crazy. So if you don't go back to it in time, or if you can't go back to it at all, then that gen is going to completely reset its progress, and you'll have to do it again. So this is good on basically any killer, I would say, but especially the ones who can pressure decently and can get people off gens. Because the main thing of this one is that you need to have like that mid-game pressure to keep people off gens, get people unhooking and picking up slugs. Because the time that they're not doing that gen, it's losing a shit ton of progress. So you need to try and keep people off it. But it also is just good, like I said, on basically any killer, essentially, because even if it gets cleansed, I always say that that itself is, you know, time wasting, because they're searching and cleansing that totem, you know what I mean? The nerf it will be getting in a few weeks is that... Actually, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know they said, I think it's 100%, not 200%, and I think they changed it some other way as well. Oh yeah, they said as well, if a survivor is killed or sacrificed, this perk will just deactivate. Even if the totem isn't cleansed, if someone dies, that it will just turn itself off basically. It will just disable itself. So keep that in mind, that in a few weeks it will be weaker and it will be pretty heavily nerfed. But for the time being, it is very effective and very, very helpful. And finally, we have Wake Up, which is a Quentin perk. This is one of my favorite perks of the whole game. It's very simple, but I just love it as a solo queue player. Basically, when the exit gates are powered, and all the gens are done, it will show you the auras of the exit gate switches up to 128 meters. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Which is basically how the killers see it. You know, when you play killer, you always just see the exit gate switches at all times when the gens are powered. It's basically just that, but for survivor. Um, Also, you have your aura shown to survivors when you are interacting with an exit gate, so it helps them find where it is if they weren't able to look around when the final gen popped. And also the main thing is that it makes you open exit gate switches 25% faster. I think that might have got changed recently. It's either recently or it's going to be in this upcoming thing in a few weeks. I think they are buffing the exit gate speed, so that's good. And this one, again, is unexpected because killers normally know, you can normally tell the timing of how much a door is done by the red lights and the beeps. But this one kind of throws that off because the speed is increasing, but the animations for the door and the lights stay the same. So you can kind of throw a killer off, I think, and they still got time, when really, no, the door's about to open. But because the sounds don't speed up with the perk, so... very unexpected, very fun, and as a solo queue, it's great because, like I said, you let them see your auras when you're opening an exit gate. So if your team's kind of fucked and they're like running away, they know where to go basically, and also just makes it easier for you. If I know there's a daily ritual, I'm pretty sure, to open exit gates with certain survivors, so I guess it's good for that as well. If I had to say which one I would buy, I think the main one would be Ruin because it's going to be nerfed to the fucking ground soon. It's going to be very different, much weaker. But right now it is strong. It's one of the best regression perks we have. So I would say buy it to use it while you can. Although I would say at this point, you know, Ruin's been on a few times, and you've probably heard how Ruin like is brilliant anyway. So I imagine you would have it by now anyway. Um, I would say Wake Up actually, because I think Wake Up is fucking brilliant, and I love using this perk. It's one of my favorite perks to use genuinely. So I would say if you don't have it already, please get it, because it's a game changer. The other two I think are good perks. I just don't know if they're good enough to like put shards on. I mean, today I logged on and got 1,000, so I guess why not? But also, I think these two are the priority ones, but you can feel free to buy those as well. Obviously, at the end of the day, it's your choice. I'm just here to kind of guide you a bit, which ones are more worth it and will get used more and give you more value and things like that. So I think for that, these two would be better, but the other two are also good perks. These are all pretty solid perks, to be fair. So, yeah. That'll do it from me. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found this useful, and I will see you in the next one.